It's time for another Broken Plane podcast, coming to you from the Pod Shed in Tigard, Oregon, with your hosts TK and JB.
Welcome to the Broken Plane Podcast, Season 2, Episode 21, Regular Season, Week 1. I'm JB.
And I'm TK.
TK, how you doing?
I'm excited for the regular season. Tomorrow is the first game of the 2018 NFL season.
It is about time.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming. The Eagles,
Yep.
and the Falcons.
The champs and the would-be champs from a year before.
It's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Okay.
Bird versus bird.
Before we get into that, which we're going to get into the matchups
Yes, we are.
down the road, but why don't we jump right in with Twitter Fan of the Week?
We will do, yet again, Twitter Fan of the Week. This week, it is our buddy, Joshua Jackson, at JoshJ292.
Woo!
That's right. Joshua's a new follower. He's a Washington football team fan. He lives in Wisconsin.
It's a long ways away from...
Not sure if he also likes the Pack, or maybe he's a transplant. Maybe we'll find out sometime if he responds.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have him on the show.
Maybe.
Want to talk some Washington football team stuff. That could be fun.
Really? Could
for
it?
him, yeah, that could be fun for him.
Do we want to talk about the Washington football? I guess we do. Yeah, there's some storylines there.
There's some stuff there.
Yeah, there's some stuff I wouldn't mind talking about. Yeah.
So that's there. That would be interesting. We're looking for anybody that listens and wants to come on the show. We'll have you on the show. It doesn't have to just be Jonah. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
So there's that. Joshua's not a big tweeter. One tweet a couple of days ago, on the 3rd. And then before that, it was August of 2016.
Oh, wow.
So he must be a Twitter reader and not much of a Twitter tweeter.
That's cool. That's cool. I on my personal account, I do a lot of that. I just troll. Not troll. That's wrong. Lurk. That's the word. I lurk. I scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll.
Just I don't have anything to say.
I have nothing pithy to say.
I have it all here.
Nothing fun
Nothing
to say.
else, yeah.
I'm not an interesting person at all. So I try to be funny on my tweets, and it's just like I go back a week later and read them. Like, that's stupid.
Delete.
It's so dumb.
Yep. Delete that tweet.
Do you delete tweets?
I do.
I never delete tweets. I figure if I have it there and then it's dumb, that's just, you know what? That's what it was in my life. That's the point of my life. I was stupid then.
Yeah, I don't want my son to go back and see it.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
15 years from now. Well,
then again, my feed is also like super vanilla. So there's like nothing in it that would potentially be horrifically embarrassing to me. There's no I rarely yell at people on Twitter.
I get worked up sometimes.
So I don't have to worry about that so much.
Anyway.
If I got worked up,
That's
I think I'd probably dropping all kinds of F-bombs.
Not like that. Just bad opinions. Joshua, thanks for being a follower. Hopefully you'll give us a listen sometime. Let us know what you think. Joshua, everybody, at JoshJ292. Twitter Fan of the Week. Good
awesome. You can check us out at The Broken Plane on Twitter.
That's right.
TheBrokenPlanePod@gmail.com email. We are, I kind of sprung this on you today. We are discontinuing the Facebook.
Never been a big fan.
Yeah.
Facebook's not my thing anyway.
So we're not going to do it anymore. We've had it open for, I don't know, since the show started pretty much. It's got 17 likes, so we're all done.
Yeah.
That's enough. This is my fault more than Facebook's. I don't do Facebook very well.
I don't feel like, I don't spend any time on Facebook, but I get the feeling that it's not really a podcast type of place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that. It feels like connecting with actual family and friends.
Yeah.
Or businesses that insist that you go to their website, their Facebook page, because they don't have a website or something like that.
There is one, set of podcasts that I do listen to that does a really big Facebook community. If you're a Star Trek fan, I'm going to put my geek hat on.
Look
here.
Out.
Trek FM. If you go and search Trek FM, or I think it's actually the Babel Conference is the group, the Facebook group. They're super active, and there's a lot of people on there. But
it has its place. But
for other podcasts, I really don't see.
Twitter's our thing. We don't need Facebook too. Kicking it to the curb.
And I think Instagram goes with it.
Right, yeah.
So no more Instagram.
Instagram's definitely not a place for us. I don't know what we would put up there anyway. People aren't interested in seeing the same microphone every week with a different filter.
And also, you know what? YouTube. While we're doing this, I think we're going to take the YouTube thing down too. So no Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube. We're taking all those out. So we're going to concentrate on Twitter. And,
I will miss the hostile comment.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of a bummer. Speaking of hostile comments, though,
Yeah.
our Apple reviews, we have enough now to be listed.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know what the threshold is. We've got like 5 reviews.
I think we have 6 now, so
6.
it must have been 5 or 6. I would
Okay.
assume 5. Why make it 6? But
but for
solid
for whatever
5-star
reason,
rating.
now you can
think.
go. You can see our reviews on Apple
I bet this will help.
Music, and that was interesting. Yeah, it shows up now. It didn't used to show up.
Right.
You could find the podcast, but the reviews, I think it was.
It didn't give an overall rating. You couldn't tell.
That's it. Yeah.
Now it looks like we have good content
But,
because we have a 5-star or 4.8-star rating or whatever it is.
dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
So if you're listening to us on iTunes, throw us another review out there. Make it a good one.
That would be awesome. Or Google Play if you're into reviewing things. We would like more reviews. So any kind of interaction you can give to us, we would certainly appreciate
That's
that.
right. Don't care if it's negative.
Negative or positive, really feedback either way. We will take it to heart.
As long as it's not something like, you guys should both not do the podcast anymore.
No, that wouldn't work for me.
Well, you could just not listen to it if that were the case.
Yeah, I would just keep doing it, but that's fine. You can say that. It's
Yeah.
okay. I don't mind getting that feedback.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do anything with that feedback, but I can get it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of housekeeping. Why don't we jump right into Kwik-E-Newz?
Yeah, we got a few things here.
Right off the bat, let's talk about the Khalil Mack situation.
Let's do. Traded to the Chicago Bears.
Good move or bad move? Just right off. What do you think?
Good move.
For?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't really mind it that much for Oakland either, because at least I feel like they got some fair compensation for it, but I don't like that they got rid of him.
Yeah. I don't like the way this whole situation went down.
Yeah.
It feels like there wasn't enough effort given
And I was
by
gonna
either
say,
side.
no trying.
Yeah. It seems like really both sides. Have you talked to Khalil Mack this week? No. Have
This week.
Khalil Mack, have you
Ever?
talked to the Raiders this week? No.
Yeah.
What
Well,
are
I
you
don't.
doing?
I feel like Mack doesn't really have so much on him. It's more up to his agent at that point as far
Yeah.
as negotiating the contract and what are we going to do here. But it seemed like Gruden didn't really have much interest in it.
Yeah,
He just felt like, well, this guy doesn't want to play here.
that's fine.
Well, he kind of does. He just wants money too.
Yeah,
But
and
Gruden, he's old school. He doesn't care.
we won't beat this to death because we're going to be
No.
talking about Khalil Mack a little bit more later on in the show. But yeah, it was a big deal, especially coming on the heels of the Aaron Donald signing.
That's right.
So both those got taken care of. Antonio Gates
That's right. He's back.
gets signed. The 38-year-old
That's
Antonio
right.
Gates.
Chargers waited until they did their final cut downs. It looks like they settled on 2 tight ends prior to that, so they needed more. And
Yeah,
they
at
went
least
back
one
and
more.
got Gates.
Yeah.
So he'll be in there for some situations.
What do you think?
I'm fine with it. I'm glad they finally did it.
I think it's going to be a good. I think it's going to end up being a good move. I certainly don't mind it. It's also interesting that you hear tell now that Hunter Henry might be back.
Right? If they make it deep into the playoffs or maybe even come back the last few weeks of the season.
That's
Something like that?
That's what I heard. I thought he had a knee injury.
I thought it was an ACL, so I don't know how he's coming back, but
That seems-
in 4 months.
That seems kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
Little
but
sketchy.
maybe it's not as bad as some of the ACL issues that we run into.
Yeah.
I think it'll work out for them. I don't know exactly. I'm kind of curious to see what Gates still has left in him. Because last year's numbers weren't great, but at the same time, I think he was ceding a lot of snaps and targets to Hunter Henry. So I think that may be part of the reason why his numbers dropped significantly. I think he was down at like 300 yards receiving, but he still had a couple catching touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that number go back up a little bit, maybe approach 500 yards, maybe 5 touchdowns, maybe more touchdowns. I don't know. Red zone target.
Yeah, you've got to figure that he's been in the league long enough that he knows how to get open in the end zone.
Exactly.
He always has.
Yeah.
So I don't think you lose that touch as you get older.
He just needs the opportunity, which he's
Yeah.
going to have this year.
I mean, a lot of that is just about body positioning, right? And that's not a thing that goes away as you get older.
And
I
he's
don't
still
think.
got the size to match up with the linebackers. So
Yep.
there
Yep.
we go. Good move by them. Glad they did it. Sad that they had to cut him in the first place, but
Yeah.
they kind of figured they were going to move on until Hunter got hurt.
I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think that makes sense. We have a player reporting to camp.
Oh,
or
that's
to,
right.
To the team,
Yeah.
Earl Thomas,
Yay!
finally
Hooray
back
for you.
in the building. I don't know how to feel about this because on the one hand, I'm really happy to have this All-Pro safety back, this potential future NFL Hall of Famer back in the fold. That's great, but he's not happy.
Not at all.
And is that going to affect the locker room?
I don't know. I don't know how much. I think the fact that he came back and he's stated that he is there for the guy, like he's not going to let the team down.
Mm-hmm.
As far, I guess he's not. He doesn't care about the team. He's not going to let his teammates down.
Okay.
So I think he's going to still try and be positive for those guys. That's my impression. He seems like a good guy all around. He just got kind of frustrated with the management situation and the contract situation. I don't see it having a negative impact. The fact that he still has plenty of years left to play and he's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season, I still think he's going to try and put together a decent season because he's going to want to get that last big contract.
Yeah, and he still could get one more big contract. He turns 30, I think, at sometime during the season.
I think so. Yeah,
he's 29
or at the end of the season, maybe.
Now.
Yeah,
I think he still's got one more good-sized contract in him,
like
maybe
a 3 or 4 year deal.
Yeah, and I think probably around 60.
He's probably looking to be the highest paid at this point.
I think Eric Berry's making $13 million a year.
Right.
So I think he's.
I know
wanting
he's
that
fourth
kind of
highest.
money.
I know Earl is fourth highest right now.
Yeah.
With his 4-year-old contract. So
3-year-old. Cautiously optimistic, I guess, as a Seahawks fan. I think it's I don't think it's a bad thing. The other thing I do worry about from Earl Thomas's perspective, he has had a hard time getting through the last couple of years injury free. Honestly, he's had a hard time
hasn't?
For like the last 3 or 4 years. Earl Thomas has kind of got dinged up in the middle of the season, missed a couple of games here or there. Last year, I think he missed 4 games. I do worry about him getting dinged up and maybe missing out on a chance to get that big contract next summer. So that's something to keep an eye on. There's another holdout in the league who did not make it in.
Didn't get to the facility today.
A lot of speculation that Le'Veon Bell
Yep.
would make it into the Pittsburgh facility.
No such luck.
And he did not. And it is, as we record this, it is Wednesday, and they have a game on Sunday, and he will not be playing in that game.
Doesn't look that way.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see when he shows up. He needs to play in 6 games in order for his contract to count for this year.
Okay.
In order for this year to count against his, how do you want to say it? He's a free agent right now. He's actually not under contract, but he needs to play these next 6 games to get to unrestricted free agency.
Right, because it's a weird situation because he's got the franchise tag on him, which is why he can't just go and play anywhere or sign for somebody who wants to give him the money.
Yeah.
The Steelers still have that control, but
he
gets to control what he does, basically.
He controls when he shows up.
Yeah.
I was watching NFL Live, and Adam Schefter had a really good breakdown of this for me because I was a little confused on the Y-Force. He needs to play in 6 games, so he could come back in week
11 or 12,
yeah, and be fine. But the Steelers can put him on the inactive list for 2 weeks.
Oh, interesting.
And if they do that and he doesn't get his 6 games in, then he would actually be... The Steelers would actually have a chance to franchise him again because this year wouldn't count.
Wow.
He would be in the same spot. So the speculation is he's going to come back with at least 8 games to play.
Ah, okay.
Just in case the Steelers want to get frisky.
Yeah.
What a jerk move that would be. Anyway, so Le'Veon Bell not in camp, or not. I guess it's not camp anymore, not with the team.
Yeah.
Some of the offensive linemen are getting a little frisky
That's
about
right.
it.
Did you see some of their quotes?
Yeah. Was Pouncey?
There was Marquise Pouncey, the center, and then there was Ramon Foster, who is the left guard. Foster says, "What do you do? Here's a guy who doesn't give a damn, so I guess we'll treat it as such. I just hate that it came to this. He's making 7 times what I make, twice as much as Al, who's the left tackle, Al Villanueva, is making 7 times as much as what Al is making, and we're the guys who do it for him." Wow.
Yeah,
that's
words.
The final shot there at the end.
That's words.
And then
that's right.
Pouncey, like you said, he says, "The business part, I get it, but not if it's game day. We have a game this Sunday. We're all the way into the game plan, and you're still not here?"
Yes, that's right.
So a little less aggressive, but still.
You know what?
Called him out.
Here's the thing. You
don't hear this from players to
really
other
don't.
players.
And good on Foster for getting on him a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's the reason why he makes more money than you. He does things you can't.
Right? How many touchdowns have you scored, Ramon?
Yeah, guess what? There are lots of people who can do what you do. There's like 4 who can do what 3 who can do what Le'Veon Bell does, right? I mean, his combination of shiftiness and speed and pass catching ability and pass blocking. Who in the league does that? Todd Gurley is not really a similar player, but he does a lot of those same things.
Mm-hmm.
Shady up in Buffalo.
Yeah, he used
does
to
a lot of
anyway.
those. You can't really tell anymore because
I don't know what
it's
he's going
hard
to be like anymore.
Yeah, but really, that's who else? I mean, there's really not a lot of backs.
Maybe
who do that.
Saquon. We'll see.
Maybe you don't know.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. You don't know what he does,
Yep.
right? But yeah, there's left guards. I can find one of those if I need to.
Most teams can.
Even a left tackle.
I mean, Houston and Seattle
yeah.
can't, but
No.
most other teams can.
No. Seattle found one.
That's true.
They had to trade and pay money for
Yeah.
it eventually. So anyway, that's all I got for Kwik-E-Newz. Do you have anything else?
That sounds good to me. I like that.
All
that was
right.
nice and quick.
We should, before we continue on,
Mm-hmm.
we should get into the Great Big Broken Plain Fantasy Football League recap. We had our draft
That's right, we did.
Saturday,
Yeah, baby.
and it was success.
It went well.
Yeah.
I think we had one guy that missed the live draft, because he got mixed up on the timing, and so he showed up a little late for it. And then another guy, our boy Jonah, I don't know exactly what was going on. I haven't spoken to him about it yet. He was kind of there and chatting, but he was also on auto draft.
Well, I think he
So
just having
he had something
connection,
come up or-
connectivity issues
yeah.
is what was going on. Or maybe he was like at a wedding
Yeah.
and he had to keep turning the phone off. That's something that
He
would
was that
happen
guy.
on a sitcom. I don't know if it happens in real life.
I still like his team, though. It's got some problems because he's got some weak running backs. He's having to rely on Alfred Morris a little bit, which is, I mean, might not be a bad thing anymore. And then he picked
yeah.
up James Conner because Le'Veon might not play.
What do you think Al Morris? Maybe, I guess.
I don't.
The last time Alfred Morris did well was when he was with Washington.
He had one good game last year with Dallas.
That's something, I guess.
Yeah, he still got it for one game.
But his last good season was in Washington.
Yeah.
And that was with Kyle Shanahan. There's a reason why the Niners brought him in. So do you think he displaces Matt Breida?
Alfred Morris is not to the 30-year-old mark yet. He's 29 in 260 days. So he's going to stay 29. He's going to stay under 30 for this season.
Okay.
So he's good.
Okay.
I don't see like a dramatic drop-off. But I still think that the 49ers are going to utilize a rotation a little bit. I think it might be a little frustrating for fantasy players unless one of these two guys, Matt Breida or Alfred Morris, just doesn't have it for whatever reason, can't get it going. Breida's probably more likely to not be able to get it going because he's younger and he's unproven, whereas we've at least seen Alfred can do this sort of thing and stay in the game for a full season.
Yeah. Could be.
But we have Breida on our team, so
We do.
I'm rooting for Breida to succeed.
He's younger.
I think
and
he's got the pass catching ability too.
also better looking.
Yeah.
So I see no reason why he
Alfred.
shouldn't.
Alfred looks a lot like Alf.
Did you want to go over our draft philosophy?
Yeah, we should talk about our team because this is our podcast.
Because this is something that we and by we I mean you, we had discussed doing, and by we I mean me, had argued against doing, and we finally talked us into doing this thing. We drafted only
Spring chickens.
rookies or second
Sophomores,
year
yeah.
players.
That's right.
That's it.
And it worked out pretty well for us.
Not bad, I thought, until I saw the grade.
The grade was not good.
No.
What did they give us? A D?
Well, it was a C minus.
Yeah.
But worse than that, we were at the 12 teams in the league. Out of all 12 teams, we are the 12th.
Okay.
There is nobody behind us.
Easy to understand from a auto-generated computer's point of view.
Yes, the algorithm did not appreciate what we were trying to do.
Yeah. But we got everybody that we were targeting. We didn't have anybody sniped from us because basically we had to reach for everybody.
Yeah.
After the third or fourth round.
It
Maybe
was
even that, not even that long.
It was I think we took Saquon Barkley in the first round.
Yeah.
And that was really the only one of our picks that was
I think the Dalvin
elite,
Cook. I think
I
the
guess.
Dalvin Cook pick was right on the money too.
You
and,
think so?
And we might have gotten a little bit of value there
maybe.
because we got him midway into the second round.
Yeah.
So I feel like two solid running backs. Though Cook has got the injury history, he might not. Who knows what'll happen with him?
We've got a number of running backs that could
We do.
that could do work for us. though.
Here's our roster.
Give it to us.
People want to know quarterbacks. We got Deshaun Watson. And
Felt-
was that?
Felt good about that.
I know.
That
That's
was a good
exciting.
one.
I mean, I think he's going to could be the MVP.
Could be.
Could be. And then we got Patrick Mahomes. That's,
Solid.
that could work out great for us.
It could.
Or it doesn't hurt at all if we drop him because he was a late pick. Running backs, we got, of course, Saquon and Dalvin Cook. We also picked up Kerryon Johnson and Chris Carson, Corey Clement and Matt Breida.
I feel like we have some depth
I think
there.
there's some depth
We've
there.
got some
I'm excited
guys.
about Corey Clement. I think that's a good move. I don't know how much J.H.I. is going to be able to last there. He wasn't able to last in Miami despite seemingly being a good player. So
Well, they keep telling us that he has no cartilage left in his knee, but he keeps
That's
running
right.
on it. So
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. So who knows? Who knows when? But yeah, we have Corey Clement. That'll help. I
That's
think
right.
Kerryon Johnson.
that could be a fun one. I'm big on him, but who knows what Detroit's going to do? They've got like 6 running backs on their roster right now.
Yeah, I worry that Blunt's on the roster, so he won't get that many red zone touches.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like him. I like the pick. So.
I'm hoping Blunt. I'm not hoping, but I'm banking on Blunt getting hurt, and that's how we get our touchdowns with Kerryon. Wide receivers: Juju Smith-Schuster, Cooper Kupp, John Ross, Kenny Golladay, and Traquan Smith.
Pretty happy with that too.
Yeah,
That's some pretty good players. Right there.
Traquan, you talked up last week as a
Yeah.
potential dark horse for Rookie of the Year.
Dark.
Yeah.
Pitch black dark.
Well,
But yeah, I think so.
he's droppable too, though, and there's plenty of other guys out there we could go grab if we need to.
Yeah, we got John Ross. I think John Ross was a great pick when we got him.
Right.
And I like Juju Smith-Schuster is an obvious number one. Well, number 2 on the team. Number 1 for us.
Yeah.
Right. And Cooper Kupp's he's a money guy.
We already had a trade offer for him. Jonah wanted his Ram.
He
I
did.
think he was upset that we went for him, or maybe he just missed out on him because he was auto drafting.
Well, also we reached for Cooper Kupp.
That's
We
right.
reached for a lot of these guys. So
Yeah.
by the time you were looking for that guy, he should be available. No,
Who took him 2 rounds ago?
The Broken Plane podcast took him 2 rounds ago
Yeah.
because reasons.
Tight end Evan Engram. That was a good pick for us.
That was a good pick.
We were able to jump on him early because we didn't have anybody else in that range. And then we picked up Jake Butt, my favorite player. Looking
Right.
forward to that.
Right near the end.
Yeah.
So that was a good that was a right value too.
Right,
I think
right
value
before our kicker.
right value would have been free agent. That
Yeah.
would have been the right value. But yeah,
He's probably undrafted in 99% of leagues, but we've got him.
we've got him on our
So,
team. Yeah.
eat your hearts out. Kicker Daniel Carlson, rookie kicker for the Minnesota Vikings. I like that. He's going to be indoors for half of his games. I have no problem with that.
Nope, good pick.
He beat out veteran Kai Forbath, I believe, so he must have something there going on. And then defense, we had a lot of options because there's a lot of teams that are putting a lot of rookies and sophomore guys out there, but I got a little excited after the Khalil Mack trade went down. We went ahead and took Chicago.
Yeah.
We love Roquan Smith. We love Khalil Mack. They've got a couple other exciting young guys. Bilal Nichols was a rookie this year. He had some decent plays. He had quite a few sacks in the preseason. And then Roy Robertson Harris, rookie last year. He's looking good as well. They also got Isaiah Irving at linebacker, and he was an undrafted free agent last year.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Right?
Yeah. No.
You wouldn't. You do now.
Yes.
That's fine. That's our team.
Pretty good team.
I'm excited about it. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be last.
I hope we won't be last. What you said that we already had a trade request for Cooper Kupp, but the problem was that we were offered Doug Baldwin.
That's right, Doug Baldwin.
Clearly, Doug Baldwin is
What was
not
the other
a
one?
first
Do you remember
or
who
second.
the other player was?
It was the tight end Seals.
Ricky Seals-Jones, who
Ricky
I love
Seals-Jones.
and did qualify for our team.
Yeah, but Doug Baldwin, we're sorry, too old.
Too old.
Yeah, so we were ageist in our cutoff. Yeah, so
We're the anti-Grudens. Maybe that's what we should call our team.
so in the league, who do you think is early favorites?
I went and looked through all the rosters. My favorite roster to compete in the championship is the Drop Bears, managed by Aussie Alex.
Really?
Yeah, I liked this team. I think
Okay.
it's got what it takes in our PPR league.
Okay, and keep in mind this is
It's
a PPR.
PPR,
Is
yeah.
it a full point? Or
Yeah,
is
we're
it
doing a
half
full point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He waited late to get his quarterbacks. He got Big Ben and Matty Ice, which I know you hate, and I don't really like it that much either, but I think that works for this format. Because
Yeah.
they're both potential big touchdown, big yardage guys that you can wait on.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. I just wouldn't want to root for either of them.
No.
Wide receivers, T.Y. Hilton, Marvin Jones Jr., Allen Robinson III, Brandon Cooks,
Go
Go Beavs, Danny Amendola, and Josh Doxson.
Not bad.
Those are a lot of guys that could see heavy targets on their teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or will see heavy targets on their teams in T.Y.'s case.
Yeah. They're gonna be pushing the ball in
And
there.
then Allen Robinson, That's kind of tough one to predict coming back from the ACL injury and on a new team that could potentially run the ball quite a bit in Chicago. But I think he's going to be a volume catcher.
Good. With the offense that they're trying to install there with
Nagy and Helfrich.
Yeah, that should be it's not a spread offense, but it should be a wide open offense.
Right.
They should spread the ball out.
He'll have opportunities to catch the ball.
There's going to be passes thrown. So yeah, I think it's in this league. I think that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be able to catch.
And I think Amendola is a sneaky pick too in this type of league down in Miami now.
Yeah,
I think he'll be utilized a lot more than they used him in Miami or in New England last year.
Well, he's one of those guys that's he's gonna get 8 catches a game
Mr.
for
Reliable.
30 yards.
Yeah,
right.
So that's 11 points in our league.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. Why is PPR popular again? I think I saw somebody talk about that Jarvis Landry, PPR was stupid because Jarvis Landry was the wide receiver 4 last year in PPR leagues. But if you take that away, he was wide receiver 12 or something like that because he just caught way too many balls for not enough yards and doesn't have the touchdown numbers to back it up either.
Yeah, all he does is catch balls.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. I don't want to say I like small ball, but I enjoy it as a valid way to play offense.
Right.
So I have no problem with it.
If you can move the ball, you move it small, that's fine with me.
As long as you're moving the ball.
Yeah.
Let's be honest now. Jarvis Landry's problem last year wasn't that he caught too many balls for too few yards. His problem was he played for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
That was his problem.
Running backs for the Drop Bears: Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Rex Burkhead, Tevin, what's his name? Tevin Coleman. There we go. And Gio Bernard.
You know what?
A lot of pass catching backs there too.
Yeah, but Fournette's
not really.
I don't know.
But he's gonna get the yards on the ground anyway, and he's the touchdown man.
Yeah, but in order for Fournette to pay off, he needs to get touchdowns, right? Because you can get 100 yards. What's 100 yards worth?
10 points.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So it's a point every 10 yards.
That's right.
Okay, I thought the scoring was a point every 5 or every 20. Excuse me.
That's the old school. That's
Okay.
like 10 years ago. It's a good thing we're co-managing.
Yes, it is a good thing we're co-managing. Well, then in that case, yeah, that's fantastic. That's a really good pick then.
McCaffrey's going to catch more balls than he's going to rush for. Gio Bernard's going to catch more balls than he's going to rush for. Tevin Coleman, God, I keep forgetting his name for some reason. I keep wanting to say Tevin Campbell, who was the R&B artist from like 1994. Yes, Tevin Coleman of the Atlanta Falcons is going to catch more balls than he's going to rush for.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rex Burkhead, he's a pass catcher.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly what's going to go on with Sony Mitchell in town too, but Rex is probably the goal line back if he can get healthy.
Would think so, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got enough depth there that it doesn't matter. Tight ends, Jack Doyle.
Who?
Tight end, co-tight end with the Indy Colts.
I don't know. I don't know who.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then O.J. Howard, sneaky pick, who could turn up a little bit this year.
Where's he at this year? I don't remember.
O.J. was a rookie with Tampa Bay last year.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He's still splitting snaps with Cameron Brate, but a lot of people are predicting that O.J. takes the next step forward, kind of overpasses Brate as the tight end one.
Again, it's been several years since I've played fantasy football, but it always worried me to have a talented person on a team with a quarterback that I didn't trust to get you the ball.
Right.
So, the quarterback situation in Tampa Bay is in flux.
It scared me away from picking a couple of Tampa guys.
Yeah, so,
Because I like Chris Godwin, and he qualifies. He's a second-year guy, but
yeah. You don't know who's going to throw him the ball.
Right. If it's Fitzpatrick, I don't really trust it, and if it's Winston, maybe he just goes to Mike Evans all the time.
And I like Winston as a player.
Yeah.
Although we might have to talk about this at some point. I don't know that I can root for him anymore.
Right.
But I like him as a player. I think he can do a lot of things.
Skill set wise, you like him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kicker for the Drop Bears is Jake Elliott. That's a solid pick. Eagles kicker.
Yeah.
He also would have qualified for our team.
We looked at him.
Yeah. I felt like we needed to get a couple more rookies on our squad because we ended up being able to get a bunch of the solid second-year guys. And then he took Detroit's defense, which is interesting. They have a good matchup week 1. New York Jets coming to town. Sam Darnold, known for his interceptions.
And a rookie.
A rookie in his first pro game.
Yeah.
So that could be a good pick. He may be looking to stream defense, which I like. Just go ahead and get whoever's playing Buffalo.
That would be solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whoever's playing the Jets, maybe. That Miami defense is going to be available, I think. Buffalo defense will be available.
I don't know what to make of Detroit's defense. I mean, I want to like them, but the closer we get to the start of the season, the less impressed I am with what Matt Patricia's doing there. And I think a lot of that is just because you haven't seen You haven't seen
We haven't
what the
gotten to see
product
it,
is
yeah.
because it's the preseason and they're looking at things.
Yeah, and they're keeping it secret too. They're not showing what they've got in the preseason games.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, so it is frustrating going into the season. Now the good news is now we're at a place where we are going to be able to see what's going on.
We'll be able to say actual factual things soon.
Yeah.
Instead of just guessing.
So Detroit, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or maybe
good.
streaming.
Or streaming.
So I like the Drop Bears. I think he's got a solid squad of volume pass catchers all around. I think his quarterbacks won't let him down as long as he plays the right one. But I don't see them putting up a lot of stinkers anyway. Matty Ice could have a bounce back year.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's my team.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's not my team. Sorry.
No, that's the team that.
That's my prediction for team of the Great Big Broken Plain Fantasy Football League.
Okay, that's who we're going to be going up against.
No, that's not who we are.
Well, not this week.
Oh, yes.
But for the
end,
for the season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I see what you're saying now.
So you're the Great Big Broken Plain Fantasy Football League Game of the Week.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yes.
I wrote down the Drop Bears.
Okay.
They have an interesting matchup against Fantasy Executive, who is managed by @Realist Kingdom, another one of our followers, and I think listeners. He's got an interesting team. I'm not a huge fan of it, but mostly because I don't like a lot of the players on the team. I still think it's a solid fantasy roster. He's got Cam Newton at quarterback.
Okay.
Wide receivers are Amari Cooper, Devin Funchess, Jordy Nelson. So he's got 2 Raiders.
Right. Right off the bat.
DJ Moore. Now he's got 2 Panthers.
Okay.
Kelvin Benjamin, Cortland Sutton. Now he's got 2 rookies. John Brown. I like that pick. That's a good pick, John Brown.
Okay.
And then Geronimo Allison.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
He's wide receiver number 3 in Green Bay.
Wide receiver number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be the slot guy. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Or Cobb plays the slot, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot of people there that you know. There's people there who that should produce.
That
right?
should produce.
You would think.
Cooper could drop everything. This is what could go wrong. Cooper
Okay.
could drop everything. Funchess hasn't shown that he is actually a good wide receiver yet. Jordy Nelson could be too old. DJ Moore is a rookie. He could be terrible. Cortland Sutton is a rookie. He could be terrible. Kelvin Benjamin is fat, and he's on the Bills. But somebody has to catch the ball in Buffalo, I think, and it could just be the other team.
It could be the other team
Yeah.
with Nate Peterson?
Peterman,
thank you.
John Brown, I love that pick. He's going for 100 catches, 16 touchdowns. Go Ravens. John Brown could be terrible because the Ravens have notoriously had underwhelming offenses. And then Geronimo Allison's the third option in Green Bay, and it could change at any moment. And Jake Kumero's coming back week 8, and he's going to take over the spot anyway.
Okay.
Running backs, David Johnson, solid pick, should be good. Alex Collins, not a pass catcher.
Where's he playing?
Alex?
Yeah.
He's Baltimore. He's got 2
Okay.
Ravens on his team.
Okay.
That's iffy. Carlos Hyde, not a pass catcher, running back at Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
Sony Mitchell, splitting a lot of carries with other guys. Not sure if he's a pass catcher. Do you know?
No,
Didn't do my
I don't-
homework.
I
And then
don't
he's
know.
got Rashad Penny, who's going to play backup to Chris Carson for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little weak there outside of David Johnson. Alex Collins should put up some rushing yards, though. We hope.
Carlos Hyde should be okay there, right? In
I think
Cleveland?
so.
I think he'll probably be okay. He
I
might
think so.
produce a little bit.
Yeah. He should be good, too. I don't think he doesn't catch the ball, though, so you won't get many bonus
really?
points. I think Duke Johnson's going to get a lot of the pass catching
Okay.
duties there. Tight end, Gronk, set.
Yeah.
Set it
done.
until he gets hurt week 8. Kicker, Graham Gano, that's fine. He's Mr. Reliable as far as I'm concerned. Not quite as good as Justin Tucker and Steven Gostkowski, but second-tier kicker in my opinion.
Okay.
Defense, Atlanta,
I don't like them, but yeah, that's a good pick.
right?
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Tough division to play in, though. Could have some bad matchups. New Orleans and
Could. Yeah. The South is tough. Carolina and
Tampa Bay.
there you go. Yes,
could have
thank you.
could have a high-powered offense by the time Jameis gets back.
Could.
Never know.
No.
So I think that's a good matchup. The reason I also picked this as a fantasy matchup is that out of all of the matchups, all 6 matchups in our league this week, that was Yahoo's closest prediction results. I think it was like 153 to 155. So it was only and some change in there because we're doing fractional points. So it was only like a 1.5 difference between those two.
Nice.
So that's the game to watch. Plus, I think Drop Bears could be a contender for the league. So if he loses week 1,
Okay. You got to go
rough
do.
start.
They have Pick'em in the league too, right?
Oh yeah, we can
think-
pick each winner.
Yeah. So we got to get in there and do that. So
That's
we
right.
got to vote against some of our cohorts.
That's
here.
right. We'll do that. We'll announce that next week.
I
what
remember
we did
that
and how we
they
did.
just started doing that like the last year that I was playing, and I used to get so mad when people would, "You're going to lose."
How dare you.
No! I took it way
I
too
think you can
personally.
comment on it too.
I think you can.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's so
rude.
bad. Okay, cool.
That's our league, so we'll keep you updated on that. I'm sure everybody cares.
For sure you care.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you will by the time we're done.
Yeah. Speaking of the Broken Plain Fantasy Football League, one last thing. We got the coasters.
Yes.
We have some sitting here. They look beautiful.
They really did turn out nice. We should take a picture and put them on Twitter. Have you done that?
I will put one up now.
Okay.
Or
Cool.
not now, but tonight. We're going to send them out to those members of the Fantasy League who have provided their address so far, which is not many. If
So,
you're
yeah.
listening and you want your coasters, let me know. I'm going to contact you other ways too. If you are interested in coasters as well and you're not in the Fantasy Football League, there are ways to get them. Try and figure out how. Any sort of participation in the podcast would be greatly appreciated and is a good way to get yourself some free coasters.
Are we going to give them out as a set? How do you figure?
Probably a set of 4.
Okay.
I don't think people want just one coaster.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like a bachelor, you're living alone.
Yeah, let us know. You can have up to 4, so let us know what you want.
Okay, sounds good.
If you want one, that's fine. It'll save us 30 cents in postage.
All right.
What do we got now? I'm
you
sick
know
of
what?
talking. It's your turn.
We had last week. We had some fans asked for segments.
That's right, Austin and Jay.
Yeah, and there was projected offense, projected top defenses in the league.
Right.
Projected was it rookies of the year?
That's right.
Yep. And Jonah also asked for a bad decision segment, which was awesome.
Not a bad decision.
That was not a bad decision.
No.
But especially, we looked at it and we wanted to push it off a week because we wanted to do it after cutdowns. Because we thought there'd be some movements and maybe there'd be some like big shocking changes
Yeah.
that we could really stick the knife into some teams with.
I was hoping.
And I think we got it. So a bad decision segment.
Here
That's
we
what
go.
We got.
Bad decisions.
Coming to you.
And we're going to start it off. We're going to start it off in Oakland,
That's right.
trading Khalil Mack.
Bad decisions.
You know what? This is a pass rusher in his prime.
Right.
And the Raiders could not figure out how to get this guy signed. I have no idea why this
I don't
is
think
happening.
they tried. Like we said
at
before.
all.
They just made up their mind they didn't care. They didn't want to go through it.
It makes no sense.
I don't trust their management at all. Reggie McKenzie, I don't think you have what it takes to run a team after seeing what you've done with Khalil, and I think you butchered the draft personally.
So we're gonna get on the Raiders twice.
Yeah.
We're gonna get on them once for trading Khalil Mack. Well, why don't
Bad decisions.
hit me up again one more time? What the Raiders got back? What was the deal?
The Raiders got a 2019 first-round pick from the Bears, a 2020 first-round pick,
So 2 firsts.
a 2020 third-round pick,
Okay.
and a 2019 sixth-round pick.
So we're not gonna worry about the 6th-round pick.
No, that's basically nothing.
2 firsts and a third.
Right.
Okay. And what did they give up?
Khalil Mack
Okay.
and a 2020 second-round pick.
So they shipped off potentially a defensive MVP candidate and a draft pick
A high draft pick.
and a high draft pick
Yeah.
for 2 firsts and a third.
They also it's also written down there's a 2020 fifth-round conditional draft pick. So I'm not sure what the conditions are, but
And that's coming back to the Raiders.
no, that's also going with
That's going to the to the Bears.
to the Bears as well.
So the Raiders could potentially
sure
be
what
giving
it
up
is.
Khalil Mack, a second, and
a fifth, which holds some value.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Reggie McKenzie said, "You know what? Yeah,
Fine with
that
that.
seems to make sense. You know what? That's crazy talk to me. That really doesn't make any sense.
Don't like it at all.
No, I'm unimpressed. The whole thing was just weird from start to finish. They should have been able to make something happen.
Yeah.
There's ways to structure contracts so you don't get yourself into trouble. Khalil Mack is a great player. The one it's really not even a knock, but the one thing about him that might have held me back a little bit is that a full quarter of his career sacks are against Denver.
Oh wow.
So he is maximizing sacks and stats against a team that is honestly not great.
But it is one of your rivals, and you want to win that division, and that's one way to do it.
Is
to win those 2 games.
But do you suppose Gruden and McKenzie were looking at his stacks and looking at where he was good and said, you know what, he's only good in
Not consistent enough,
Yeah.
basically.
Do you buy that?
No.
I really don't buy it either.
No.
The good news, I think we're going to be able to see fast what happens because I think in Chicago he's going to get a chance to
Yeah.
shine.
He's in a much better situation.
I think he is. The real winners here, I feel, are the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Week 1 matchup,
That's
Monday
right.
night.
Yeah.
So it was going to be
problems.
the Rams and the Raiders, and at least the Rams, or at least the Raiders had Khalil Mack to give Jared Goff a hard time. Oh wait,
No.
So now what are the Raiders going to do for a pass rush?
Arden Key.
Yeah. So now what are the Raiders going to do for a pass? That's crazy talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, I thought the Raiders were going to have a hard time against the Rams, and now it's going to be even worse. While we're here talking about Raiders and bad decisions,
Yeah.
let's talk about the draft.
Did not like the draft, JB.
No, I was not appreciative. The Raiders started off the day with the 10th overall pick,
That's right. That's where Josh Rosen ended up going.
and they traded it to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, they got,
They got the 15th. They dropped back 5 spots. And then would they pick up a 3rd-round pick, the 79, I believe?
it was a 63rd, or no, it was a 79th, and then they traded back up to get to the 63rd pick.
I think so.
Okay.
But those were 2 separate transactions.
Yes.
Because the 79th pick, so they ended up moving back to 15. They take Colton Miller, an offensive lineman, and then they use the other pick that they acquired from Arizona, which was 79, I believe, move it to Pittsburgh
That's right.
to take on Martavis Bryant.
Oh, my goodness, that's right.
And then Pittsburgh moves that pick to Seattle, who take Rasheem Green with it, who's my pick to click for Seattle.
Yes.
And you don't know who it is.
I have no idea who that is.
So, yes, they take a guy who is a knucklehead in Pittsburgh his entire career.
Bryant.
Yes, Martavis Bryant.
Yeah.
They trade a draft pick for him.
Yeah.
John Gruden hates knuckleheads. He's cutting knuckleheads. They got rid of their punter because he's a knucklehead. And he's the best punter in the league, except for, he's the best punter in the AFC because Johnny Hecker's the best punter. Go Beavs.
Marquette King can kick a football.
He's good, and now he's in Denver, a rival.
Yeah, that was insane.
More bad decisions from Denver, or from Oakland. My goodness. Anyway, I got to power through all this because it's just eating me alive. The Raiders, so they could have drafted, if they had stuck at 10, they could have taken any number of guys. Vita Vea, Darren Payne, Tremaine Edmonds, Derwin James.
So
they still could have taken Colton Miller, but...
So hold on. Just you're saying that by dropping back 5 places, these are the players that you don't get to pick anymore because you drop back 5 places.
Not Derwin James. Derwin James went 17.
He went 17.
Yeah.
But you don't get to pick Minka Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick was another one, yeah.
And you don't get to pick Vita Vea, and
Right.
you don't get to pick
Darren Payne.
That's
really it.
And you don't get to pick, the kid out of
Marcus Davenport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are 4 guys in the preseason now. Those are 4 guys who are looking really, really solid.
Right.
And especially the defensive guys. You're looking at Fitzpatrick, Vea.
Darren Payne. Though Vea's not been able to showcase much because he got hurt.
He got hurt.
But we still saw in
him,
2 snaps that he's better than...
Davenport, who's turned into a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, you think maybe the Raiders could use some pass rush?
Yes.
Yeah.
They could use defense. I don't care about their offensive line. They have 4 returning offensive linemen. I don't care if they're old. You can get them next year. You can pick up an offensive lineman off of the free agency. You can trade for one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You've got Tom Cable as your offensive line coach. You can take defensive linemen. You can take tight ends.
That was a bad decision.
You can take whoever you want and make them into an offensive. The point is, your offensive line didn't need help. You've got Donald Penn.
Yeah.
Why are you looking for trouble?
They're moving Penn over to the other side. This is his first game. This Monday is his first game at right tackle.
Donald Penn.
So that they can put a rookie at left tackle.
Yeah. Good luck, Derek Carr.
Okay.
Right? This is going to work perfectly.
I do like that they traded down. I think because they acquired that 79th pick, which I liked. That's a good pick.
But you just didn't like that they flipped for Martavis Bryant.
I don't like that they took Martavis Bryant, who's a guy that you had to wonder, why does John Gruden want this guy who Mike Tomlin doesn't want?
Oh, but wait, he doesn't because he cut him.
Yeah, they cut him.
Yeah.
So there was a wasted trade. They could have drafted, Michael Gallup was available at that pick at 79, and Traquan Smith was available at 79.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have taken a wide receiver who would be on their roster right now and would be making no money.
Yeah.
And would be playing. I don't... Ugh.
So we are down on the Raiders right now.
Yeah. They also, they traded back in the 2nd round, too.
Mm-hmm.
They had, I don't know, I can't remember what pick they had. At their spot, they could have taken Harold Landry, who's one of my favorite players on the defensive rookies. They could have taken Josh Jackson, who's been lighting it up in the preseason for Green Bay and is going to be a starting cornerback, which is a definite area of need for the Raiders. That's all. I don't know why they did that. They traded back to draft P.J. Hall, nose tackle.
I don't know who that is.
Need a nose tackle out of Sam Houston State.
Sam Houston State?
Bad decision. Man. Another trade they made to move up in the third round, to get the first pick of the third round, where they took another offensive lineman.
Yes.
They gave Baltimore 3 picks, which I'm very happy about.
As a Baltimore fan.
Yeah. But looking at this from a bad decisions point of view, terrible decision. They gave up the 75th, 157th, and 212th picks. Orlando Brown, there's your offensive lineman right there. He would start for you.
Yeah.
He's not starting for Baltimore, but he's probably going to at some point in the season. Rasheem Green and Sam Hubbard, who are both going to play heavy snaps for Seattle and Cincinnati, respectively, were also available at that point. They could have picked up Tyrell Crosby, another offensive lineman, who's going to be a depth for Detroit, but they didn't need a starter in Oakland.
Yeah.
They just needed depth. They would have been fine.
Piece. Yeah. It really is. It's a head scratcher. It's a head scratcher. You think the part that I don't get, do you think it's because Gruden has got that 10-year contract? So do you think he's a big part of the player personnel decisions?
It seems like he's just wanted to dismantle what Del Rio and whoever else was there had done before. And I saw somewhere that they have like 29 guys are the same as last year. Something
wow,
like that.
out of 53-man roster.
I think so. It's something ridiculous. He's gotten rid of so many players from the Raiders have drafted from over the last 3 or 4 years.
It's crazy.
Not a fan of what they did there.
No. Another Raider. While we're talking about the Raiders, we were saying earlier this week, that the lack of acrimony between the Oakland fans and the Oakland club, now that they're talking about moving, didn't seem to be very high.
Right.
And today I open up Yahoo News.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, the city council, Oakland City Council, is looking into suing the Raiders for breach of contract because they're apparently getting out of their lease to Oakland Coliseum a couple of years early.
Wow.
And they're going to sue them for up to seven figures. I don't know what the price tag is going to be.
Good.
But the hate is coming. And if the Raiders do bad, do you think that'll only get worse, or do you think that will stop people from caring at all?
I think it's just going to stop people from caring at all, a la Los Angeles, San Diego Chargers, Los Diego, San Angeles Chargers. So
maybe this is the reason why.
Yeah.
Because if Oakland is just terrible, then nobody cares.
Yeah. And they're going to get a fresh start in Las Vegas, and people are going to be excited for it, and Gruden's going to get to put together his team, and hopefully Reggie McKenzie is gone.
I don't understand the moves they're making.
Yeah.
I really don't get it.
But they get a freebie once they move to Las Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
New set of fans. People that have never had a football team, they'll just be along for the ride, and they won't care quite yet that their team is terrible.
It'll take a couple of years. It'll take a few years because it is football. The Golden Knights was different. The Golden Knights needed to win, and they did.
Yep.
And Vegas showed you what could happen if they get behind a team. They were behind the Golden Knights, and it was crazy. They did a fantastic job supporting that club. With football, I don't think it matters. I think the NFL can just walk in there and they could, lay an egg and people would be like, "Woo!"
Yeah, people still love their Browns. I don't know why.
So yeah.
The funny thing is, though, Oakland might not even be that bad. If their defense or if their offense comes back together, they were a terrible defensive team 2 years ago when they were 12-4, and then the only reason they bowed out of the playoffs so easily was because Derek Carr got hurt.
And they were playing Connor Cook at quarterback.
Yeah,
in the playoff game.
Yeah.
There was 2 quarterbacks that went down. It was Derek Carr, and then the backup went down too.
EJ, right? Was EJ still there at that point, or was it somebody else?
I think it was somebody else. I can't remember, but
doesn't matter.
Anyway, they were in the third string quarterback, and that is the reason why they did poorly.
So they could play just outscore guys.
Yeah.
And put up a decent season, but man, they could be a real powerhouse if they had drafted correctly.
Well, and kept the guys they had.
Yeah.
I don't even mind them bringing Bryant in.
That's right.
I mind them bringing Bryant in and then waiving him.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Either you know who the guy is or you don't. I mean, I don't understand how you could bring him in and not understand what he was. That's what bothers me the most.
Give Tomlin a call. What's going on?
Well, don't call Tomlin. He's going to lie to you. Bryant, he's great. Yeah, real response. Every time I look up at the club or in the clubhouse, there he is, in the weight room, getting better, watching film,
helping everybody, making food. Man, what was I going to say? Oh, that's the other thing. If they had drafted better, they'd have money to give to Khalil Mack. They wouldn't have had to, they signed some offseason guys, and they did
Yeah.
it before the draft. But if they drafted better, and it doesn't add up. The timeline doesn't make sense if you actually think about it. But what I'm saying is, if you just draft better, you don't have to sign Tahir Whitehead and Derek Johnson.
Yes.
You've got guys that can play and basically replicate those numbers, and then you can give Khalil Mack his money, and you've got a solid roster.
The part that I don't really understand is I was looking at their salary cap. I think they could have given him the contracts that Chicago gave him.
Right? They already gave Derek Carr his money.
So why aren't you?
Here's your two guys that you need to pay.
And then the only thing I could think of, if you're looking for rationalizations for not doing it, the only thing I could come up with is that one sack number where he gets all of his sacks against Denver.
Yeah.
And if you're not playing against Denver, then he's kind of a regular, ordinary player, which I don't buy.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him play against the Seahawks, and he runs like crazy. The guy is all over the place. Yeah. Anyway, Raiders.
Bad decisions.
All right. So, we have more bad decisions?
I have one more, and it's for the Raiders.
Okay.
Because they sent a 5th-round pick to Buffalo for A.J. McCarron.
Bad decisions.
Seriously?
I forgot about that, too.
Why?
That doesn't... You know what? You've got a couple of things here. You've got the Jets signing Bridgewater, paying him $500,000 in a signing bonus, flipping him to the Saints
For a third.
Yeah. That's a beautiful move. Beautiful move.
Good decisions.
And now you've got the Bills signing A.J. McCarron, paying him, I think it was a
$4 million roster bonus, or signing bonus.
Oh, was it $4 million?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But they flipped it for a fifth.
Yes.
So that's not as good.
I think they were going to cut him.
I'm pretty sure that I think you're right. I think they were probably going to cut him.
I think they were going to cut him.
That's the feeling you get. That preseason game number 3, was that the one he played the whole game? Or was it? It was 4. It was the 4th preseason game.
Yeah, because he got hurt first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they gave him the whole 4th preseason
And he
game to
just
play.
looked like trash.
But I think they were showcasing him.
Yeah.
And it worked because the
Gruden
Raiders
fell for it.
said, you know what? I've got a great idea. I've got Derek Carr and E.J. Manuel. I need someone to back up those guys. A.J. McCarron.
Is A.J. McCarron better than E.J. or Connor Cook, though? Probably. But what would you rather have?
You think he's better than E.J. Manuel? Really? I don't... How? First of all, how would you know?
It's hard to look good in Buffalo, first of all, so he's probably better than what we saw.
Well, no, but think of him in Cincinnati.
He was fine. He was like 7 for 15. That's great. That's
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, fine.
I don't know. Oakland, you're dumb. I'm over you. You're Buffalo Bills West now.
But that was a bad decision from both sides.
Yeah, Buffalo. Why did you even give this guy this money? You
Yeah.
you got rid of Tyrod Taylor, who was a fine starting quarterback.
Yes.
And then you went and signed a guy who you traded away for a 5th-round pick after paying him $4 million to do nothing for you.
Yeah, you paid $4 million for a 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
Is that worthwhile?
Bad decisions.
Yeah,
It's not worthwhile.
I don't think it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
The Jets paying $500,000 for a 3rd-round pick, that's better.
That's beautiful.
That's what I would like to do if I had, both $500,000 or a 3rd-round pick. Either way,
And a football franchise.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you got?
I'm going to go real quick with Le'Veon Bell. I think it's a bad decision that he's not showing up and playing some football.
Bad decisions.
Okay, now, is this a bad decision for Le'Veon Bell? Or
For him.
Is this a bad decision because you want to see him play?
I don't want to see him play. I'm glad he's not going to play.
Why is it a bad decision for him?
I think he should just play and take his $14.5 million and shut up.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to play devil's advocate with you a little bit. Not a lot, because
I'm prepared to be wrong on this.
I
but
want to see him play. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm just selfish. I just entertain me. I want to entertain me.
I
That's
also
what I
feel
want.
real bad for Ramon Foster and Marquise Pouncey.
I don't feel
They're
bad for
good
them.
guys.
Again, they're getting
And they're
paid.
doing all the work.
They're getting paid in money to play a game. I don't
That's
feel
right.
bad. What I do think for Le'Veon Bell specifically is he saw Todd Gurley get what? It was 4 years. Was it $60 million?
I don't know.
What was the contract?
I have to say I hate talking about contract money.
But it was the point is
So I never know the
he's going to
figures.
be. I think he's going to be making around $15 million a year for I
Right.
think 4 years.
It's pretty close to 14.5.
Is what he was looking at. And so let's say that you get fines for every game that Le'Veon Bell misses now. He's going to lose. It's right around $850,000, right? Which is oh my god money. But at the end of the year, when he is an unrestricted free agent, 27 years old. How much do you think he's worth on the open market? I think he's worth Gurley money.
Probably.
And I think there's going to be, several teams lined up to pay him that. So if you play this season on a 1-year deal with no guarantee and you get hurt.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get hurt.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be a big thing. It can be a dislocated shoulder that takes a while to heal.
Yeah.
And then when he hits the free agent market, let's go take you in for a physical. Let's see what else we find. And let's poke and prod a little bit. And you know what? We were going to offer you this much, but let's be honest, Le'Veon. With that shoulder, we don't know when it's going to pop out of its socket again. Could be any time. Now, instead of 60, you know what? 4 years, 50. That's what we're going to offer you.
Well, he got 5 years, $70 million, with 30 guaranteed and 20 in the first 2 years. 30 in the first 2 years. So it was 15 per for the first two.
That's what.
And it falls down. That's what they offered him.
That's what they offered him
before July 14th or whatever it was, when they were allowed to try and extend him.
So how much guaranteed was it?
$30 million guaranteed. Not a lot. Or no, sorry, I'm sorry. It was, I don't remember what the guaranteed was, but it was $30 million to him in the first 2 years. And it was before the Gurley contract too.
What was the signing bonus?
I don't know. I don't have those numbers.
Okay.
I don't know if that stuff was all there because it wasn't actually signed.
Yeah.
And become a thing.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's tough.
He's
almost, probably doing the right thing.
It almost makes from a strictly business standpoint, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because if you make it to next summer and make it to the next contract, your payday is huge. I mean, he's probably looking at a $35-40 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
That's oh my God, that's even more oh my God money, right?
Right.
So at that point, I don't really care if I lose even the whole season, even the whole $14 million. It's like, let it go, because I've got a payday worth 40 on the other side if I make it through. If I play for you and my knee gets bent backwards, I'm done.
Yeah. Here's my prediction: he goes to San Francisco.
Wow.
They've got some money open, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he goes there. If they have a decent season.
Wow.
I don't know what they can do with McKinnon. I don't know. I haven't looked at the situation, but I'd do whatever it takes to get rid of McKinnon and take Le'Veon.
I don't know that McKinnon got signed for anything.
I think he had an extended deal, but whatever. That's my prediction.
I hadn't even thought that far ahead. That's a good fit. That's a good fit for both.
I also like it because Ravens don't have to deal with
player and club. The Seahawks get to deal with him. That's even better. Awesome. Yes.
Rams too. That would be a fun division.
The NFC West is getting more stacked by the day.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Okay. Did you want to talk any more about Earl Thomas?
I do. I have a bad. He's in my bad decision segment as well, but not him. This time it's the Seahawks.
No.
Seahawks made the.
Bad decisions.
Why?
Why did the Seahawks make a bad choice here?
Because today, reportedly, Dallas offered them a second-round pick for Earl Thomas, for 1 year of Earl Thomas, with the option to extend, I suppose.
Well, I mean, he'll be on the Cowboys roster, so then it'll be Cowboys' problem.
The option to then play in the playoffs as well.
Hey now.
Does he push him over the top?
I think Dallas might be going to the playoffs.
Could they become a wild card team or push for the division against Philly if they get Earl Thomas?
Wild card. I think they could get a wild card. Yeah.
Their defense is fairly strong. It's underwhelming, or not underwhelming. It's under the radar strong.
Yeah.
I don't know why they turned down a second round pick for Earl. They wanted more still.
Well, again, I was watching NFL. I shouldn't never do this. I shouldn't watch like a NFL show right before we come record, because I just parrot everything that they said.
That's fine with me.
But I was watching NFL Live, and I was listening to Adam Schefter talk about this, and what he said was last year the Seahawks got Reuben Brown. And they picked him up, and it cost him a number 1 overall.
You love
Not
Reuben.
a number 1 pick. Not number 1 overall.
Dwayne.
But a first round. Dwayne. Why do I do that all the time? Dwayne Brown, left tackle from Houston. But they gave up a first round pick for him.
I forgot about that.
And so what
Costly.
what Schefter was saying was, here you've got a guy, Dwayne Brown, who's a good left tackle, not a Hall of Famer. I just said Hall of Flamer. Not a Hall of Famer. And you've got Earl Thomas, who really has a pretty good shot at getting into the Hall at this point in his career. And we can't get a first-round pick for him. We should hold out for a first-round pick.
That's true. They're probably in their own heads a little bit about what they gave up to get a functioning offensive lineman.
It was a pretty
and
big...
now they think that everybody else that they have is worth more than that, because now they still see that, well, Dwayne's not really that great.
Hey, Dwayne Brown's good.
He's good. He's not great.
He's just fine.
Yeah.
You know what he is? He's a starting NFL left tackle.
Wow.
And it's been a few years.
First-round talent.
It's been a few years since we've had one of them in Seattle.
I didn't think about that. Wow. They've misjudged the market is what they've done. I just think they should have taken that second-round pick. That'd come in handy next year. Earl's going to be gone. I think Bobby Wagner's going to be gone after next year. After 2019, I believe he's a free agent. KJ Wright's going to be gone soon, and they are just loaded up with other contracts right now. Veteran guys that aren't going to be there very long, and I think they are going to be starting over.
Well, I think they're going to be starting over, but they're not really tied into anybody right now.
No, they've just got their rookie contracts.
I mean, everybody that they were tied into is left.
No, that's what I'm saying. Deion Jordan and Frank Clark could both walk away, I think, after this year. KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner are both getting close to their deals, and they'll be 30 years old. They're going to leave after what happened to Earl. They're not going to try and get money.
Well, John Schneider doesn't sign guys to third contracts. He signs you for your rookie deal and your second deal, and then he gets rid of you.
Yeah, and then who else? Bradley McDougald. He's going to be gone soon. He's getting older. And Barkevius Mingo, they just signed him to a one-year deal.
He's a stopgap guy anyway.
Yeah, and then Tom Johnson, who came over from Minnesota as a one-year guy, stopgap. That whole defense is going to be completely different next year.
Well, it's already completely different this year.
They should have just picked up the second-round pick for even more new defensive talent.
How about this? If the Cowboys start off rough, because the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys play each other in Week 3.
Right.
If the Cowboys stutter out of the gate and then they come to Seattle and get beat, do you think there's more or less incentive to trade for Earl Thomas at that point?
That could be true. The other thing I've heard from the other side is Seattle will trade him. They just want to wait until they play Dallas first.
Until after they play. Yeah. I wouldn't want to see Dallas come in with Earl Thomas
No.
with a star on the side of his head.
Yeah, because he's already angry at the team.
Ugh. Yeah, that's no good.
He'll come in and just destroy Doug.
Doug doesn't need to get hurt this year.
And then you have nothing. Brandon Marshall.
Tyler Lockett. Anyway.
So yeah, I don't like that the Seahawks didn't take that trade, but maybe Week 4.
Okay. Did you have anything else you want to get to?
No, we have our last segment that we have to get to.
Okay, lose the farm.
Still got it.
This, for those of you who weren't with us last year, this is the part of the show where we make picks based on this week's games.
That's right.
We pick against a spread. It's the Yahoo spread, so I don't know
where it comes from.
Don't know where that comes from or what it relates to in casino money.
Yeah.
Sidebar: I saw that Nielsen was put together. They projected how much money would be spent on gambling once the market has matured in the U.S. Now that everybody's allowed to do their own sports gambling, $2.3 billion.
Wow,
is the size of that market. So for all of you aspiring Uncle Vinnies out there, now's the time.
No doubt.
Start a book.
Get in on it.
Here's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so pick'ems for this week. Here we go. Thursday night, Atlanta at Philadelphia. Atlanta by 1.
I'm taking Atlanta. I have Atlanta to win.
I've got Philly, home team.
I think Foles is done.
You think he's done already?
I don't think he's got it anymore. I think it was Cinderella story, Flacco-esque, 4-game run, done.
I'm not buying it. He wrote a book, man. He's got to back that up.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Foles is in. You'll see. It'll be fine. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Pittsburgh's favored by 4.
Pittsburgh's going to win that one.
I'm taking Cleveland. Maybe not to win, but I'm taking Cleveland.
Field goal loss.
Cover the spread.
Okay.
Cover the spread.
Sure.
Cincinnati at Indy. Indy's favored by 2.5.
I have Indy to win.
I've got Indy also, I hope to win. I don't know if they'll win or not, but I think it'll be close, and I've got Indy.
Okay.
Tennessee at Miami, even.
I'm going Tennessee.
I'm going Miami. I'm picking the home team. I don't like it, but I haven't seen anything out of Tennessee yet to make me think that they can play well. So
just taking the home team.
I'm going to be interested to see what they do this year because of the new offense, the potential for a new offense. But yeah, we'll see. San Francisco at Minnesota. Minnesota favored by a touchdown and an extra point, 7 points.
San Francisco covers. Still lose.
I think Minnesota is going to cover the spread. I think they're going to beat San Francisco by more than 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see. Big Zimmer fan.
Yeah, you
Defensively, I think they're going to do okay. Houston at New England. New England is favored by 7.
Houston to win. Deshaun Watson.
Houston goes to New England.
Takes them down.
Last year they almost did it. They came close.
Yeah.
So why not? I'm taking New England.
And New England lost opening game last year.
They did, that's right. And then they were going to lose the rest of the games, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they didn't. Yeah, I remember that. That was fantastic. Tampa Bay travels to New Orleans. New Orleans favored by 10.5.
New Orleans easy.
I think yes, New Orleans is going to cover that spread.
Yeah.
Jacksonville travels to the Giants. Jacksonville favored by 3.
I have Jacksonville to win.
I've got the Giants, and I think the Giants are going to win.
Really?
It's a home game, and I think with the new tools, well, it's not new, but I think with Saquon Barkley and with OBJ,
upgraded
the
offensive
offense
line,
and Schumer as a head coach, a better offensive coach, I think this group is going to be better. And even though I personally do believe that the Jacksonville defense is the best in the league, with all due respect to the Rams, they need to show me on the field before they get to be the best defense. But right now, I think Jacksonville's the best defense in the league. I still think the Giants are going to take that game.
Here's what I have: Eli Manning is 5-9 in opening week. Now he's old.
He's not that old.
He's old. He's terrible. He's playing one of the best defenses in the modern history. Odell's going to have to go up against Jalen. Jalen's going to own him.
I don't think that's true at all.
Eli's going to get sacked 4 times, fumble it once, 2 picks, no touchdowns.
Wow.
Jacksonville big.
Holy smokes. And
Bortles,
Jacksonville,
no touchdowns.
You're saying Jacksonville by 4.
Jacksonville rolls.
By 4.
2 safeties,
That's what you're saying.
4-0.
All right. Buffalo travels to Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 8.5.
Baltimore wins. Buffalo will never get picked by me this year.
Oh, going out on a limb.
0-16, won't ever cover the spread. Doesn't matter. Buffalo's terrible.
All right, I've also got Baltimore. Kansas City travels to L.A. to face the Chargers. Chargers by 3.
Los Diego to win. Rough opening game for Patty Mahomes.
You know what? I think it's going to be a defensive slugfest. I think Patty Mahomes is going to throw a couple of picks.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a pretty outing for him. He'll get better, but this week, no.
2-2. 2 TDs, 2 picks.
I don't even know if he gets 2 TDs.
17 points out of the Chiefs.
It could be bad. It could be maybe a 15 completion on 30 attempts. It could be 2 picks, maybe 1 touchdown.
They're going to give him some trouble, that's for sure.
Under 200 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds right, though. That San Diego defense is looking definitely very scary.
They are looking sleek. Yes, they're looking sexy.
We'll see how Kansas City's offensive line holds up against Bosa and Ingram.
Seattle traveling to Denver. Denver's favored by 2.5.
I got Seattle.
Why?
I think Russell Wilson's going to do a little something this week.
I am going with the home team. I've got Denver. I don't trust the Seahawks. The Seahawks also, I think they're going to be better than what people are giving them credit for, but they're going to have to prove it because the amount of churn going on in Seattle is significant, and they're going to have to prove it to me.
Another thing, Earl Thomas playing, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's going to want to show not only the league that he's still got it, but the Seahawks that they probably made a mistake by not extending him. Big play from him. Case Keenum's not very good.
That part's true.
Yeah.
That part's true. Could be. Washington travels to Arizona. The line is even.
I'm going Arizona.
I've got Arizona too. Yeah.
Cross-country game.
Home team. Dallas traveling to Carolina. Carolina favored by 2.5.
I have the Panthers. Not sure why.
I've got the Panthers too. Home team.
Home team.
Yeah. North Turner's offense.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Cam Newton, 75% completion on 40 throws. What is that? So, 30 for 40?
That's
500 yards?
Yeah, sure.
4 touchdowns.
5.
Look out. And 90 rushing yards.
And 90 rushing yards. All at once, right?
Right.
Okay. Chicago at Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 8.5. 8.5.
Khalil Mack has done all the difference for me. I think Chicago gives Aaron Rodgers a lot of trouble, though. That defense is rough, in my opinion. I think Chicago covers the spread but loses.
I don't think Khalil Mack will be in game shape yet. He's going to play, obviously, but I don't think he's in game shape yet. And I don't think he can go into Green Bay and single-handedly carry them over the top.
What?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay.
Okay.
Even with the 8.5 points.
That's
I'm
fine.
going to lay the 8.5. Jets travel to Detroit, and Detroit's favored by 7.
I have Detroit winning this one big.
I've got Detroit too. I don't know if they're going to win it big, but I think they're going to win by more than 7. So.
I have 14-point plus win.
Wow, really? Yeah. Do you hate the Jets?
I don't hate the Jets, but I love Detroit.
Why?
I don't know. There's just something about that team.
We talked about this before.
I like all their players.
Okay, all right.
I just want to root. I want them to do good. I like them. I like Ziggy.
I love
Jamal Agnew.
Yep.
Couple return touchdowns this year. Maybe set the record.
Okay. All right. There you go. Rams and Oakland, the last Monday night game of the year. There's 2 Monday night games this week. Rams travel to Oakland, so it's hard when you're traveling north. When you're traveling south to north, that's the hard one.
They're going to be tired. I think they're already there.
The Rams are favored by 4.
That's it.
The Rams are only favored by 4. So wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. Green Bay is favored by 8.5 over Chicago.
Yeah.
Rams are favored by 4 against the Raiders.
Go figure.
I'm going to take the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm just going to go on a limb and
Didn't
say...
even have to think about that one.
I think maybe they got a shot. We should go to... This is dumb. We should go to Vegas. If that's the line, we should fix that. Are you sure that's the line?
That's what Yahoo says. It's probably going to change.
Man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's your game of the week right there for me. If you got to bet the farm, if you're going to put the farm on the line, that's the one.
That's probably the one.
I think that's going to be a debacle. That's going to be my voice just cracked.
Yeah, really, none of them look like as much of a gimme as that one.
No, that should be the one.
Excellent point.
All right,
go bet everything on that.
Go bet your retirement. Go bet your friend's retirement. Go bet your parents' retirement.
Preferably your friends.
Preferably, yeah, not yours. That's best. Okay, that's all we got. Do you want to do trivia?
No, we're going to do trivia next week. I'm going to.
Sounds good.
If you're listening and you have some trivia, we like to do a trivia segment. We have gotten a few actual user-submitted trivias every now and then from other people for our segment we like to call the Blitz.
The Blitz.
You can email us a trivia question if you have it. thebrokenplanepod@gmail.com. We'll use it. You can say who you want to try and answer it if you have a preference. Otherwise, whoever sees it in the email will ask the question.
And we'll keep the answer away from the other.
Yes.
The one who's being asked.
We won't
that would
cheat.
be
don't cheat. We don't cheat here at the Broken Plane. And who knows? Maybe if you do something like that, you get yourself some coasters or something. I don't know.
Those coasters are good looking. I'm impressed. Those are pretty decent.
I don't know. I'm gonna probably leave 2 out everywhere I go. 1 to put my drink on and 1 to look at.
Solid. All right. Until next week, I'm JB.
I'm TK.
Good night.
Enjoy week 1.